So what's our plan today? Our plan today, number one, introduction to the program. As I said, we've already started with the intensives, so I'm not going to spend a long time on the introduction. I'm going to try and make it very brief. Yeah? Because this is really like repeating the briefing session again, which we done, maybe it was a long time ago, about 6 months ago. Yeah? So I want to quickly recap, just to jog your memories, but I don't want to kill the session as a briefing. Make sense? I want to get onto content straight away, inshallah ta'ala, because we do have a lot of great things that we want to go through, inshallah ta'ala. And then we're going to start off with the first session. And as you guys know, the bulk of S360, just to remind you guys, in terms of the weekly sessions, the bulk of S360 is actions of a heart. Yeah? But the actions of a heart were ones that were chosen for this level in particular. Because if we shared them earlier, they probably wouldn't have been appreciated. Yeah, very likely. Or they would have just gone over people's heads and implementation would have been very low. Make sense? But these ones, the ones that we've chosen here, intentionally we put them here, these are the ones that hit a person, that allow a person to reach the high ranks in the next life. Make sense? And these are the ones that really, like, these are the secrets between acceptance in the hearts of a creation as well. Make sense? And that a person does really well in this life. Okay. Is that okay then? Okay. So let's quickly just, you already know all of this stuff, right? You already know about me, alhamdulillah. Why did it start? What gaps the program's trying to fill? Yeah? I'm not going to repeat this stuff. Is that okay? Yeah? I think anyway, let's move on. So what have we done so far? Planting strong spiritual foundations, powerful skill sets. As I said, we're going to whiz through what we've covered so far. Yeah? 3 types of people. Khalas, we'll leave all of this stuff. Okay, let's start off with the spirituality side. So paradise on earth we covered in beacons of light, then pillars of faith, all of the main pillars. Yeah? Allah's names, the Quran and the books, angels, the messengers, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? And then the hereafter, which covered 3 areas as well. What are the 3 areas? The journey of a soul, the last day, paradise and hellfire. And also there was predestination. And in diseases of a heart, what diseases of a heart did we cover? They actually don't have them here, so I'll just quickly whiz through them. What have we covered then? In beacons of light, we covered the hard heart. We covered insincerity, jealousy and envy, yeah, which is 1, and illegitimate desires, forbidden desires. After that, we covered another one. We covered another one as well, like explicitity, which was the last level, which was what? Sharaf. Remember that? About fame and status in the hearts of a creation. Remember that? Khalas. Let's move on. Actions of a heart, which was a good chunk of spiritual antidote, and we covered a few last year as well. Yeah, in SE. We'll cover the ones that we've covered shortly, inshallah ta'ala. Inner dimensions of salah, you remember that? And we've done voice notes as well for it as well. Dipping, which was done in SA. All of that? Khalas, let's continue. So these are actions of a heart. Covered Tawbah in beacons of light. Loving Allah. When did we cover loving Allah? That was covered last year, right? Yeah. Yaqeen, which was covered in SA. Sincerity covered in SA. Al-Inkisab was covered in SA as well, right? Yeah. Shukr was covered in SA. Right? Tawakkul, SA. Hope and fear was also an SA. Sabr was still an SA as well, right? Khushu' as far as that was last year. Tawadu', that was also last year, right? Okay, nice. Is there anything else that we're missing, by the way? Anything else that we're missing? Was that pretty much everything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's about 9, 10, 11, 12. That looks about right. Yeah, it looks about right. Khalas, let's move on. Then there's major sins. Shirk, salah, acts of worship. So major sins is still like pending. Like we haven't finished it. There's still some left, yeah, that we need to complete, which we're going to come, inshallah, in this level. Signs of hour, we covered that, right? Minor signs, major signs. Alhamdulillah. Okay, now, so that was what? That's a summary of the spirituality side. Now we're going to go through the self-development side. So articulating your faith, winning hearts and retention mode, legendary traits, right? Proactive mental health. We covered it. What were the ones that we covered in proactive mental health? Anyone remember? Rejection, rumination, loneliness, guilt, and failure. Right? Legendary traits. Obviously, last in SA we covered wisdom, and then in Beacons of Light we covered navigating criticism. Yeah, excusing others. I'm just playing with the order slightly. What you share with your friend, what you don't share with your friend, and when you do good towards others, what should your mindset be? Yeah, that's a summary of. Is that okay? The art of decision making. That's straightforward. Let's continue. This is alhamdulillah. That's good. Okay, supercharging dua we covered in Spiritual Antidote. The best send-off, again. 3 circles of protection, evil eye, jinn and ruqya. So we didn't cover black magic, right? We didn't cover black magic. Okay. Yeah, we're going to cover it inshallah ta'ala. That's fine. The money game we covered. Burnout, we also covered. Is that okay inshallah ta'ala? Yeah? Okay, so one thing that I want to mention to you guys is, so you guys know, just to remind you guys, yeah? Because I think it's really important. Maybe let me just remind me, I need to share something with you actually. Let me just finish off the content, so at least it's a nice place to, yeah? Then I'll comment on this. Okay, self-development side, entering the paradigm, which is last year. Cracking the time code, shooting for the stars, accepting dua ingredients. Remember we covered a lot, yeah? It's all last year stuff. Nice. That's, yeah, pretty much. And then seminars, the Sirah, 40 Hadith of Imam al-Nawawi. I think there might be some missing here. There's some missing here. So what else did we cover with you guys so far? So some of the slides should be here, but they're in the wrong place right now. Yeah, maybe what I'll do is I'll actually just add them on after the break, inshallah. So I just keep it, you know, people's notes as well as the video can remain how it is, inshallah. Okay, I just want to mention one important point though. I think this is really important. So before we start off with the next part, yeah, we're going to share what we're going to cover this year, inshallah ta'ala. But I want to remind you guys that we did tell you guys, we had that meeting, just after Ramadan, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, about the content creator program. Do you remember we shared that? Yeah. So we said, so because of that, we're starting, your class is starting the earliest out of all of the 4 levels this year. Even Beacons of Light, there wasn't no Beacons of Light today. There's no SA today, there's no SE today. It's literally S360. I've literally come from home to teach S360 only. Make sense? Just so you get it. Why? Because with this one, and we've done the intensives early as well, so we can finish the year a bit early. About how much early? About a month early. Make sense? Because the rest of the students finish around early Feb. Yeah? But obviously we don't start in the first week of Feb. We start like around the second week of Feb, and we start around the second week of January, as in the new year. So it'll be about a month. You guys with us? Everyone else is starting in about 2 weeks' time. Beacons of Light is starting in 2 weeks' time, and SASC is starting in 3 weeks' time. So you guys would have normally started around that time as well. But we're shifting everything early. Why? So we finish the content early. If we finish the content early, it means that you have enough time to digest the material, yeah? And the exam will be on the 31st of Jan. We good so far? Is that okay, inshallah ta'ala? Yeah? Now some of you guys might say, look, you're cut out for it. Some of you guys might say, I'm not really cut out for that sort of stuff. That's up to you. Look, I'm not here to force you and to try to persuade you anyway. Like either way, I'm not here to persuade you. If there's any way that I'm trying to persuade you, I'll show maybe it is actually not for you. Second, inshallah ta'ala, I said I'm not here to sort of like try and tell you. I'm trying to persuade you. Let me just make that very clear. Is that clear? But what I want to say though is that in order to be fair with you guys and allow you guys to be fully ready, I think it's very important for me to finish the curriculum, and you have a month and a half to do the final parts of revision, and then take the exam in 31st of Jan, inshallah ta'ala. Is that okay? Yeah? Last year's group, we finished the year and we took the exam directly after Ramadan. So it was about a similar amount. Maybe you guys are given maybe a week extra, probably, approximately around there somewhere. Make sense? So it's similar to last year. It just means that you don't have last 10 nights to make dua. You have to make dua from now. Yeah, waiting to the last 10 nights, you're probably going to be a bit disappointed, because the way we've done it is that 31st of Jan, 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, everyone's fully enrolled on content creator. So before Ramadan starts, we already have a final number. And also just to remind you guys as well, that it's multiple choice. So it's one correct answer in every 4 options. Yeah? And I'll work on the questions. Is with us? So the reason why we've made it multiple choice is so I don't have to I really don't have time to answer, like, to mark papers, to be quite frank. So I'm not going to mark any papers. This is an easy way for me to just get out of that. The hard work goes into making the questions. And then secondly, once you've taken it, if you want to appeal back to the computer. You guys with this? Because it's set. Like, it's set. So I can't help you. Sorry. It's a level playing field. There's no favoritism. Unless you think there's a biased algorithm or something, khalas, it's up to you. Make sense? But anyway, so I think that's just really important just for you to be aware of, inshallah ta'ala. We want people to, it's going to be in person. It's going to be in person, yeah? But for those people who are abroad and they genuinely can't come back, or they have unique scenarios, maybe they can share it with the admin, and the admin can see if we can sort of make some sort of exception for them. But it's live, as I told you. I just want to remind you again. It's 30 seconds. You have a choice. You can choose whatever answer you want. After 30 seconds, whatever you choose is moving to the next question. Whether you know, like if a person has answered it or not. Is that okay? Maybe like 50 minutes will be the first exam. There'll be a half an hour break. 50 minutes for the second exam. Another half an hour break. Actually, this one will be a lunch break. Then 50 minutes. So about an hour break. 50 minutes. The third exam, that'll be for SE. Half an hour break, and then an hour and a half for S360, because there's 150 questions. All of the other ones are 100 questions. So it's 50 minutes, because it's, 30 seconds per question. Literally, it's like to the T. Make sense? So that's just a quick summary of it, inshallah ta'ala. We good so far? And we're intentionally making the exam like this, my dear brothers and sisters, to ensure that we eradicate anyone who didn't actually put in the right sort of time in revision. Like winging these exams, and we had people like, if you speak to maybe the people who before us, who took it before you as well, some of these guys are from the highest achievers that I'm aware of. Like some of them are high achievers in whatever they did in their degrees as well. Some of them are super high achievers. Yeah? And they were telling me as well, they said that, I've never actually revised like this in my life. Yeah? And they were saying that if you were to try wing this or whatever, try to do last week revision, not last night, last week, khalas, that's fine. You know that, ain't gonna work out. Good so far? So we're not trying to do trick questions, by the way. The goal is not trick questions, but I've made sure that there's no possibility, like you have to literally know the curriculum inside and out. No opening reminders, no finishing anecdotes. I'm not going to ask you any stories. Stories is just to captivate, the listener. That's the goal behind it. It's just to pass on a message. Yeah, to help, like, you implant the message within the story. That's the goal behind it. But as for yourselves, all we're asking for is, just know your stuff. Make sense? Anyway, I thought I'd just quickly share that with you guys before we get started, inshallah. Okay, bismillah. So that was that part, and then there was the rules and regulations that we covered last year as well. That's good enough to take the exam, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah? Fiqh minorities, which we covered recently in the intensive. There was also stories of prophets we covered in SE, if you remember. All of this sort of stuff, right? The bios, stories of prophets, the 10 who are guaranteed paradise, the wives of prophet, the 4 greatest women. Let's move on. Principles of tafsir, science of hadith, universal maxims, principles of Jewish. Okay, so did you guys cover ulum al-Quran as well? Did that end up happening? It did happen, yeah? Khalas. I mean, it's not on the slides, but it's fine. You get the gist of it. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, we're going to go for salah right now. We don't want to miss salah. It's the last thing. It's spiritual. We're supposed to be doing spirituality. So we'll go for salah, inshallah. Come back from salah, and we're going to just quickly go through this year's curriculum. We'll start off the first session directly after that. Yalla, let's go. Okay. Bismillah. Ya hayya qayyum bi rahmatika astaghith aslih li sha'ni kullah wa la takilni ila nafsi tarfat 'ayn. So, my sisters, now we're going to go through this year. This is about this year. Okay, so importance of reviewing the content, straightforward. Yeah? I mean, look, I don't really want to comment on this because you're forced to review it right now anyway. Yeah? To the content creator, you're forced to review it, so there's not much like for me to say. The aims behind 360, consolidate. I mean, to be fair, sisters, S360 really is one of my favorite levels, to be honest with you. Maybe, debatable. It might even be the favorite level, to be fair. Because I generally really enjoy the actions of a heart in it. I think the actions of a heart are very powerful. Very powerful. So, in particular, they can really take a person to a whole new level in terms of their heart, in terms of spirituality, in terms of everything about them. Yeah? Maybe that's And look, it said completing is one iman. I mean, we'll show you how to do it. I'm not going to say your iman is going to be completed in here. I mean, that's not possible for me to do stuff like that. And shifts you to the forerunners. Who's the forerunners? Forerunners basically like people enter paradise without any punishment. They're not the mediocre ones. They're like the high achievers. See, it's no good being a high achiever in this life and be a loser in the next. So, most important thing is you want to be a high achiever in the next life. If you're a high achiever in this life or not, if you are, brilliant. I'm not going to discourage that. But if you're not, at least be a high achiever in the next life. So, yeah? Khalas. Let's continue inshallah. Okay, so these are weekly classes. So first of all, there's the major sins, the limbs, the tongue, the heart, and some miscellaneous ones. Yeah? Again, very practical. It's done in these type of sub-modules. Yeah? This whole module. This is a completion of the previous one. Then there's actions of a heart. As I said, that's the bulk of the session is going to be actions of a heart. Destroyers of a heart, there isn't really any specific destroyers of a heart. It's really like the opposite, if you like, to the action. Is that okay, inshallah ta'ala? Any dimensions of adhkar. So khalas, to be fair, my dear brothers and sisters, you know the stuff that we done before? Yeah? For now, that's good enough. Yeah? As for going through it, the same stuff we done, and now like tearing it apart, we're going to do that, but I'm not going to test you on that. You guys with us? That will most probably be done after Ramadan, realistically, I'm saying. Realistically. Is that okay? As for right now, the most important thing that's going to happen right now is major sins, actions of a heart, which includes the destroyers as well. And then path of a forerunner, this is like shu'ab al-iman. This is more like the branches of faith. Yeah, there's about 70 plus branches of faith that's mentioned by the Prophet in a narration, but he didn't specify them. But a number of scholars who came afterwards found them all. Is that okay? Allah's names will be done, but I'm saying realistically, I don't know if we're going to do it in 2025. So it's more than likely you're not going to be tested on it. Is that okay? It will be covered very, very soon, inshallah. But I don't want to... We get the gist of it? Like, I don't want to say like everything's going to be covered when everything's not going to be covered. Makes sense, inshallah? But it's something that's definitely going to be covered, but I'm saying... I'm just telling you, like, I'm giving you a sort of timing, like the schedule. Is that okay? Yeah, just so you understand. Okay. This self-development topics, stress, innate human traits, emotions. So out of these, the main one that's going to be covered, yeah, for sure, is this one. Make sense? And another one that's not mentioned here, which is very interesting how it's not mentioned here, which has to be covered, because you're going to be tested on those two in particular, is, which one is it? Black magic. Because then you've completed that skill set of evil eye, jinns, jinn possession. You get the gist of it? These two are not as important to test on. So I'm like, these will be covered, but I'm saying they're like Allah's names. They'll be done a bit later. Is that okay? Okay. Let's continue. Khalas, Mondays. So I don't know why these, like even these, this is ghajeeb. This is really ghajeeb. So basically we're switching the classes to Mondays, ya ikhwan. We go so far? We're going to switch the class. After today, it's going to be on Mondays. Is that okay, inshallah? You happy with that? Brothers and sisters, alright, inshallah? We good or? Yeah, it's a joke. Obviously, it's a joke. Yeah. But anyway, I'm saying, no, this is obviously, this is like one of those embarrassing mistakes. Yeah? I didn't make the slides for the record, so alhamdulillah. But anyway, so the classes will be 6 to 8, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah? There may be the odd sessions that where we need a little bit more time after 8, especially if Salah is going to come in, I'm saying. But for the most part, it's going to be around this sort of timing. Make sense? We did find that the threshold with students as a whole seems to be 8:30. Like, that's what I found across classes. Like, the threshold, meaning like the absolute maximum time is like 8:30. After that, you lost them. Either you've lost them mentally, or you've lost them physically. Yeah? Just as a side point, so I'm saying that if we do push, we'll push up to there. Inshallah, we don't have to, but I'm saying I would encourage you guys just to protect that time, 2.5 hours rather than 2 hours, in case we need it. Is that okay? But if we finish 8, of course we'll let you guys go. Like if it's like we're happy with what we've done for the day, we'll just let you guys go. But if we really feel we need a bit more, just a sort of thing, so we don't have to add an extra day, I'd rather add like 10 minutes, 15 minutes or whatever, than add an extra session. Is that okay? So, yeah, inshallah. Let's continue. What else does it say? We've already done... That's fine, don't worry about that. Yeah, we have got a good cover, alhamdulillah. Okay, the 4-day intensive, weekly sessions. So all we have to do right now is one thing. All of everything else is done. all 3 slices are done. There's only 1 slice is left, which is the weekly sessions. We get it? Yeah? Is that clear so far? Alhamdulillah, which is good. Sorry, so someone did ask me a question, one of the Zoomers as well as one of the brothers as well. They asked me, what about 40 Nawawi? Okay, so that's a good question, yeah, since it's on the slides. So first of all, it shouldn't have been on the slides, that's the first point, yeah? But secondly, now it's on the slides, I might as well comment on it briefly, inshallah. So 40 Nawawi we haven't covered with you guys officially. We used to cover it before, but it's officially removed from the curriculum. Yeah, for the last maybe 2-3 years. But if a person wanted to watch it in their own time, the ones that we did at the time, khalas, they can ask for the recordings. I mean, there's different types of recordings that we've done. But I'm saying, my personal advice is, focus on what's in front of you. Yeah? Worry about 40 and all of that after you pass the content creator exam. So again, inshallah, as for doing it right now and distracting yourself, that's from the shaitan, my friends. That's called, yes, you guys with that? It sounds really Islamic, yeah? Sounds very plausible. Really, it's just helping you to sort of, you know, self-inflict a bit of pain on yourself. Is that okay? I would advise that you just opt out of stuff like that. Just do this, inshallah. Just focus on what's in front of you. Worry about everything else that we've done in the past later. Is that okay, inshallah ta'ala? Khalas. Any questions? If we've got any questions, we'll quickly take them. Otherwise, let me just actually whiz through these slides, then we'll take the questions. So at least we're done with all of this. How do I make the most of the program? I'm not going to go through this. I don't care. Is that clear? Zoomers. Khalas. Zoomers is important though. Zoom is important. So obviously the Zoomers, the brothers and sisters, they keep their webcams on during sessions. When there's a break, they can switch it off, no problem. They reply to questions when we ask them, so at least we know that they're there, because all I see is literally a chat. So if this is my way of, this is my window to speak to them. So inshallah ta'ala, they see me, I don't see them, but I do see what they're writing. So if they at least communicate, at least I know that they're there, they're not there, inshallah. Anything admin related, just try and private message the admin, not myself, inshallah, just so it doesn't distract the session. Yeah. Is that okay? A couple of final points I just want to add on as well, inshallah ta'ala, which is that the urgent questions, they were generally live. Like how the urgent questions was generally okay. The admin account, you know, the account for urgent questions was okay last year. I mean, this year I think we need to just enhance it, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah, so everything's answered. Non-urgent, we didn't really open up last year at all. Pretty much the whole year was closed. And I think the year before it was pretty much closed as well. So it's been closed for about a year to 2 years. Yeah, we're going to open it up in the next 2 weeks, inshallah ta'ala, and it should be active for the year. Is that okay? Like we've managed to find a new system that I pray that Allah grants us tawfiq with. So that should be open as well. And we'll give you guys a new email address as well, just for like checkup. Like this is, you already got the admin one, I'm saying between me and yourselves. So if there's anything, you got married, you had a child, you passed your exam, you got a new job, anything that you want to share, khalas, you can share on there, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah, just like updates basically. Is that okay? Or we'll check up on you guys once in a while, or now and again, seeing how everything is. Are we landing the content? Is the content landing or not? If it isn't, then what can we do to sort of make it land? Get the gist of it? That'll be opening up again in about 2 weeks' time, 2-3 weeks' time. When all of the rest of our classes open up, it'll open up around the same time, inshallah. Is that okay? So in September. Okay. What else? Okay, so you already know about the protocol. Khalas, so you don't need to like. I'm not going to spend time on this. Khalas, forget about the breakout right now. Tell me, any questions? Will we go through Salah VNs again? Yeah, I mean you can ask the admin. I'm sure it'll be coming out soon anyway. You can ask them and then deal with it from there, inshallah. But I don't know. But if on your portal, it most probably has the previous years, right? Like the years that you attended, sort of thing. So the Salah VNs are probably there as well. I would assume they're there, and because of light, because it would be unfair if we just allow, you know, to do that and then you're not, and then you're tested on them. It would be unfair. So I gave you guys access for the previous years. Yeah, inshallah. Is that okay? Okay. Any other questions? Sisters, the brothers, have any other questions? Zoomers? No one? If you don't have any questions, it's all right. But I'm saying it's all good if you don't. I'm just making sure that if we do have anything, I'll just answer them right now, just so we can focus. Any questions? No? Khalas, alhamdulillah. Okay, with that said then, we'll give you Khalas, maybe we'll actually get you guys to just do a little breakout then for like 1 minute. Yeah, on the chat, on Zoom, it's up to the admins. It's at their discretion. If they want to put them in breakouts, by all means put them in breakouts, but just make sure you bring them back when we ask you to bring them back, inshallah. Otherwise, they can just discuss their excitement on the chat, inshallah ta'ala. But as for the, over here, if you just, like with the person next to you, inshallah ta'ala, we'll give you like a minute and a half. We'll get started directly after that. And what we'll do as well, directly after the 2 minutes as well, or the minute and a half, is here's the second register as well, before we get started with the first session.